Okay, and we are live.
We're alive.
Live and alive.
We got another day on Earth.
It's a beautiful day to be alive. How are you, Ori?
I'm good, Majana. How are you, my dear?
I'm amazing. I'm so excited to have you on the show. We've been planning this for a very long time.
Yeah, but
It's
you're the world traveler, so
I am. I am. I have to
and and I've been busy. I started my own show. You
tell
know,
us about that, Ori.
huh?
Tell us about the show. I'm excited to
It's
hear.
called Stories with Ori. It's on YouTube under the Accidental Gangster. We just posted my interview yesterday with Hollywood stuntman, actor, producer Peter Antico. It's an awesome interview. And next week I'm having Freeway Ricky Ross. And then I'm going to be having Thorsten K, who is the star on The Bold and Beautiful. Good looking guy. The girls are all going to love him.
I'm sure they will. Wow. But I know we went straight into the is this stories with Ori?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, um where did the where is the origin from? Where did this how did this start it? Like did you pick stories with Ori, or did someone
No,
recommend
it
you?
was actually, uh, I do my podcast, Very Nice People, Andy and Michelle Murad at Studio Place in Brentwood, California. They are awesome studios, and that's where I do my filming.
Okay.
And Michelle Murad came up with Stories with Ori. Oh, she interviewed me one time, and she came up with it. It's been a long time, and so now we're doing it
I,
finally.
I'm so excited for you. But do you want to take a moment and introduce yourself to everyone, because we went straight into stories with Ori, because again, we're friends. It's not like I just got to meet you today. We're friends, and to me it feels like you and I getting on a Zoom and just catching up. So that's how it feels to me. But for anyone who doesn't know Ori yet, please give us a background of who is Ori.
Well, let me do it in a nutshell. My name is Ori Spado. Uh, I'm an author of a book, From Insurance Salesman to Hollywood Fixer. There. All right. And you can see up here, being made into a major Hollywood motion picture. And see how Magenta has an autograph copy, and those are available on my website. Otherwise, you can purchase it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and other places. I, yeah, that's a great picture there. Uh,
Now,
I
this,
met with Jenna, and I gotta tell you, I spent several hours with this young lady. She's an awesome lady. You know my story better than I do. Why don't you make the introduction to me?
well, where do I begin? So Ori and I connected on Clubhouse about, I don't even know when, Ori. I really don't remember when you and I met.
I don't remember when. It was a long time ago. I
It's
haven't been on it for a while either.
Yeah, but we met on Clubhouse. For anyone who doesn't know what Clubhouse is, it's a social app, a social audio, where through this device you get to connect in real time with people from all over the world, and you connect through a profile picture and a voice. And I believe to this day those voices are real. Now with the AI, I'm sure people are replicating all the voices. But when Ori and I met, it was our voices connecting, and he would share all these amazing stories with Ori's. And I was just fascinated by how awesome and humble this man was, and how quickly he made friends. And I'm like, what a trait, because I love making friends, and pretty much you get to observe Ori from a distance, pretty much through voice, and then we exchange contact information. And fast forward, this year I traveled to LA for business, and connected with Ori, and of course I feel like he dropped everything, drove to the area where we were having our event with his friend Jimmy, and we had like a world Guinness record of the longest lunch in Ori's history. Is that
Yeah.
what how that happened? We had a 7 hour lunch. And I want to show you guys a picture. So this picture is Ori waiting outside of the event as I am getting off the Uber because I was at another event. That's Ori waiting for Migena. This is our first picture, and he had brought a book with him. And then here we have Ori, Jimmy, and myself, the three of us having lunch. And of course, I was like, Ori, I want you to read from the books that you gifted me, autographed, read me something. So Ori actually read a very beautiful part of the book that I cannot spoil it. You have to read it, but I also have it on video, and I took a screenshot of it because I think that's an amazing picture. And that's how Ori and I connected in real life. We broke bread, right? And he gifted me the non-refundable of all gifts, his time, and I'm forever grateful. And then we went into all of these stories, how Ori became the original gangster. And I mean, I was blown away. And then, of course, I told Ori that there is a very, very high chance that he may be Albanian, given the personality traits, the strength, and the bravery, and loyalty, which is so crucial and so key. I said, Ori, you're Albanian, and if you're from Calabria, you're definitely Albanian. So I gave Ori some history lessons, and he paid me a compliment. He said, people call me the original gangster, but I think you're the gangster. I think you're the gangster at this table. So I was like, I take it. And that's it. That's how he and I connected, and in real life became friends. He has beautiful children. He has a phenomenal story, which is going to be a Hollywood a film. And I cannot wait for all of you to follow Ori, the show that he has, the movie itself when it comes out, and support him in the process. And Ori, what's the most exciting part about you having your story turned into a movie? Like, why do you think it's important that from a book you convert that into a movie?
Well, as you know, George Gallo is writing and directing the film. And George Gallo is the gentleman that wrote one of the best scripts in history, Midnight Run, which was a movie with Robert De Niro and Grodin. I think it was 1988. From there, he went on to do Bad Boys, 29th Street, Middleman, and a slew of other films. He's one of the most creative individuals in Hollywood. And I also had Nick Villanoga on board. Nick Villanoga did Green Book, which won 3 Oscars, Best Picture of the Year, a few years ago. And Sean Robbins, who's an awesome, awesome guy, uh, who did Mortal Kombat and a slew of other films. And my son Anthony as a producer also. So we have a great team put together, and hopefully George is going to finish that script soon. He assured me that he's working on it as we speak. So once that's done, then hopefully we get into production early next year and get it out next year.
Now,
Uh,
do you
but
have a role in the movie, Ori? Do you appear at all in the movie as
I'm going to appear in the movie.
okay?
I'm going to play my judge that sentenced me. And I don't even have to read the lines because they're right in my head. It's something I'll never forget.
Oh my God. I mean, that is going to be epic. Now, how?
But one thing about my story is not going to be your typical gangster movie. Because, folks, I enjoy being in the light, and that's what we refer to it. I turned down becoming a made member twice. Never wanted that. But I obeyed all the rules. I knew the politics. I know how this works. The loyalty, honor, and respect. I always did that. Always did the right thing because it's the right thing to do. But, I believe one thing you learn early on in the life is what happens in the shadows stays in the shadows. So I'm not one of these other guys that out there with YouTube station that ratted on somebody. I never ratted, never been an informant, and I never would be. And I could look in the mirror every day and like who I see.
Oh,
But my story is going to be more of a love story. Uh, and it begins with I was born in Rome, New York. And at the age of 12 years old, I was in a toy store. And there was a mother with her daughter who's 9 years old. And the little girl wanted the Barbie doll. And the mother tells the little daughter they cannot afford it. And the poor little girl is crying. So Ori does the right thing. He steals the doll and gives it to that 9-year-old girl. Fast forward, that girl becomes the FBI agent that dogs Ori for the rest of his life. That's as far as I'm going to go on that there.
now,
You mentioned, who am I? And that's a really good question. And I'm going to read, I think I read it to you, Magena. And,
you did.
there's something in my book, folks, that was written by an individual who's a writer in Hollywood that to this day, I have not met him face to face. I
Hmm.
don't even know what he looks like.
Hmm.
He lives way, way out in Ventura County. But he was introduced to me when I was looking for a writer for my book before I wrote the book. But he knew who I was instantly. And about a month after I spoke to him, he was a script writer, not a book writer. I forgot about him. But a month later, he called me up. He says, I thought about you last night. He said, I heard so much about you around town. I wrote something for you. And he described me so accurately that if you don't mind, I'd like to read it for your people.
Please, for all of us.
Okay? How do you mark time? Some people count the gray hairs on their heads or the lines in their faces. For others, it is the number of children and grandchildren. To many others, it is the joy of growing old with a special loved one, or the accumulation of material wealth or objects they collect, such as art. My marker of time is the people I have kept alive, thanks to the grace of God and some behind the scenes moving and shaking by me. They are still above ground, walking, talking, and breathing. Who am I? My name is Orlando, Ori Spado, and they call me the mob boss of Hollywood. Folks, on there it says, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. I was very, very successful individual in legitimate businesses. I built up multi-million dollar insurance companies, but then I became as known as the Hollywood fixer. And what is the Hollywood fixer? Okay, everybody calls me the real Ray Donovan. of Hollywood. If you watch that TV series with Lee Shriver, that was me. So you know who I am, folks.
I love it. And Ori, um, where do people find the book?
All right, they could find. I'm gonna go to my. If they want an autograph copy, one like you have, you can go to my website. It's the accidentalgangster.com, and they could purchase an autograph copy. I personally do everything myself, including the envelope and mailing it out to you. Otherwise, you can go to Amazon, online, Barnes and Noble, Google, and several other places. It's available at most places.
Okay, I have posted the website accidentalgangster.com.
And on Amazon and Barnes and Noble is available in audio and Kindle. So, you know, a lot of people like Kindle.
And let me ask you, Ori, the audio version, do you read the book or do you have someone else reading it?
I have somebody else read it.
Noted.
Well, you're going to think it's me because I had a choice of, they gave me several different voices to listen to of people who do audio books. And I selected one, and a lot of people actually think it's me,
I love it.
you know.
I
So
love it.
people love it, and that's available. And this is the latest book out there. And
I mean, it's a phenomenal book. I started to read it, but I got the first sparkle of it from you because, as I said earlier, you read me a very special page in this book, and I cannot wait for the reader to get to it. And then on the back of the book, Ori, I see Golden Spade Publishing. Was it by design because your last name is Spado? Golden Spade. I'm like, what are the chances? Tell us more about that because I'm just curious.
well, you know, I had two other publishing companies before I took it over myself. The first publishing company, my editor got it, and I didn't realize I was getting screwed, but I found out very quickly.
Hmm.
And so I got my rights back, and I teamed up with another publisher out of Canada who was a good guy. And they're the ones, they did a great job on this book. Okay. But because I have a movie coming out, I got to own all my rights. And I will not allow anybody else to own my rights except my son. And so I got my rights back and I published the book myself. And it came out to be Golden Spade Publishing Company.
I
And
love
I only
it.
publish for myself, folks. I don't publish other books for other people. I used to do that. I'm responsible for about 10 other authors getting their books published, with Coastal West out of Canada. But I no longer do that. It was too time consuming and extra. But, referring to the back of the book, okay,
Yes, I'm showing
all
this
right,
to everyone.
I have some blurbs that were written by three friends of mine,
Yes.
really good friends. And, you know, if you don't know who Nick Pileggi is, you definitely know the movie Casino and Goodfellas. The writer of those scripts is Nick Pileggi. And he has another movie coming out in March called Alto Place with Robert De Niro playing Frank Costello. And it's a movie you're going to want to see. But Nick Pileggi wrote this. For nearly 40 years, Orlando Ori Spado was a friend and associate of John Sonny Franchese, underboss of the Colombo organized crime family. His relationship with Sonny brought him to the attention of the FBI and eventually led to his being indicted with Sonny on federal RICO charges and imprisoned. In The Accidental Gangster, Ori provides the detail of his time in the life and his long battle with the FBI, whose overwhelming resources made it a fight that was impossible to win. Nick Pileggi, author and screenwriter, Casino and Goodfellas.
Now, is Nick Pileggi the person you put on the phone with me when I was leaving LA, coming back to New York?
I believe he was, yeah. Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, I was like pinching myself the entire time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I call Nick, he picks up the phone right away for me.
1,000%. And I am proof because Ori calls me and says, I have Nick on the line. And then I was like, wait a second, why haven't I met you before? He says, that's Ori's fault, not mine. Which goes to show that he was extremely comfortable being on the phone with a complete stranger, not questioning the stranger, the voice, because Ori was the connector, as I say, the glue for this introduction. And I I mean, I am just fascinated by your story, Ori, and as I said earlier, how humble you are. Where does that come from? Like, because oftentimes, and uh, you've seen it yourself. Oftentimes, when people publish a couple of books or get a couple of movies in the works, they tend to, I don't know, like get a little more distant, less approachable. Like, how does Ori stay true to Ori?
For Ori to stay true for Ori is very simple. For Ori, it's very complicated for other people because people like to make their life difficult. I don't want to make my life difficult. I try to keep it easy. And Majani, you spoke about Jim. Okay, he just happens to be walking in my door right now. All
Please
right.
invite him.
I'll let him say a quick hello. It looks
Hi,
like a
Jim.
I do look like a bum.
All right.
I'm sorry. Hello. How are you? Good to see you again.
We have to meet for another lunch.
Yes.
It was so good.
Anytime. You're a
Uh,
delight.
All
and
right,
please
we're
show your
doing
face.
it. Get
Why
out of
can't
here.
you show your face to the audio? He's going incognito. Got it. Got
You
it.
see, I threw him out. I said, "We're doing an interview."
Yeah.
Well, where was I?
You were at the for most people it's very difficult. For Ori, it's very simple to stay Ori.
Well, I try to be kind to everybody until they're not kind to me.
Mm.
Okay, I can get more done without a gun with my brain. That's why I was a Hollywood fixer. That's why I was good at what I did, and I did not go broadcast what I did. I did not make it public, and that's why I got the calls back in the days to take care of problems with A-list celebrities, studios, lawyers, agents, and the whole ball of wax in Hollywood. And to this day, I still do not discuss. And that's the only one person that I kept a stalker away in my book, famous model by the name of Naomi Campbell, that everybody will recognize that name. And I mentioned that for a particular reason why I wrote about her. But, I believe in loyalty,
Mhm.
honor, and respect. And these were things not taught to me by gangsters in life. They were taught to me by my father and my mother. The other thing is I'm a communicator. And I put my pants on the same way as anybody else does, one leg at a time. So we're all the same. I could talk to the doorman of the building and go up to the top floor and talk to the president of the company, and I'll treat them both with the same amount of respect and dignity because it takes all of us folks to make this world a better place. In my book, in the epilogue of my book, I state that if we all hold hands and get together we can make this world a better place. So it's something that I live my life with. I don't change. I don't lie. And why don't I lie? Because I know what I said. I don't have to think about what I said to somebody. And I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. And that's why I am the way I am. I just posted a picture that I took at the VA. Now, I'm fortunate. I got insurance and I'm at Cedars, but then I got the veterans benefits because I was a veteran. And I get my meds there. I go there. And the real heroes over there are the people who work at the VA. And once a month, I go over there and I give a free autograph book. I select one worker and I give them a book, him or her. I do that once a month. And I posted a picture on my Instagram, my social media, and other places. Because these are the real heroes, folks. These are the real workers. The people who get up in the morning, they go to work every day, and they do their job. At the VA, those are the people that treat veterans like myself and others. And they treat us with honor, dignity, and respect. So, it's the nicest place in the world to go to.
Mm.
Now, if they can do it, why can't the rest of the world do it?
Beats me.
So, this is what, if you listen to me on my social media, I keep talking about those things. I have a group on Facebook. We got over 500 members now. And, you know, I allow anybody to post as long as it's positive, happy, and going to be helpful to somebody else. Keep away from the negativity. I don't get involved in all these wars that these other gangsters have going on. It's not my business. I'm not going to make an echo from it. Why do I got to get involved? You need to involve. You got to come to me and have an envelope with cash in it before Ori gets involved. I'll get up from my chair and go out and do favors unless I'm being paid. I do get paid for what I do for because I do it well. That's my profession and it's legal. Well,
I love it. I love it. And we have Dr. Slava Shut in the house. His comment is the most honorable gangster I know, big heart and big brain.
Dr. Slava,
Yes, I
you
connect.
know,
He meaning he's on YouTube listening to us, and he made a comment that I posted here. The most honorable. And then he also says, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Spelled sense. I love it, but sounds sense. Dr. Slava has a funny sense of humor. He's an amazing friend, connected Ori and Dr. Slava back in the day because they both live in LA. I mean, it makes sense for
I
two.
know. Well, you introduced me to. We had a lovely dinner. I met him, and Doctor, look, I'll be calling you, and we gotta have dinner again. Okay, he's an
Yes,
awesome guy. I
he's the
love
best.
that dollar and cents
I
because I
love
got a picture over here,
it.
and let me show you.
Okay, thank you, Ori. And while Ori gets back, we have Steph Dublovsky in the house sending us hearts.
This was given me.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, Ori, we can. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. All those dollar signs
Dollars and cents.
and dollars and cents. I love it. And look,
This was part of a payment, actually.
oh,
Okay, it's worth a few dollars on somebody that got robbed out of $2 million.
Oh my God. Talk about stories with Oris. We'll get another real story here of a gift from someone who was robbed, and the amount was $2 million.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
A poor lady whose husband passed away,
Oh.
and a comment, and he was good. One of the best comment I got to tell you that I've ever met. Nobody could find him. This guy was like you didn't know where he was. It took it took over $100,000 just to
Mhm.
find him.
Interesting.
And I had crews of guys. He was down at Palm Springs. He was in Orange County, and I mean, I had the Albanians. I had the Russians. I had I had crews going out, but we finally found him. And but you know, there are a lot of people that take advantage of other people, especially vulnerable people, especially widows with money to get the insurance money. And a lot of women don't know what to do, and he promised her he's going to invest it and do it. He robbed her. But I found him.
Hmm.
And so that was, I got paid very handsomely, but and I also got that as a gift.
I love it. And Dr. Slava says absolutely to you two getting together for lunch again. Dr. Slava is also an actor. He's got a movie coming up, or either came out already. And
Did the Doctor's movie come out?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay.
But yeah, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. That's awesome. That needs to be printed and framed.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that from Dr. Slava, or actually quote him on it. Why steal it? It's ours now. And Dr. Slava says yes, the movie is out. I love it. And so Ori, you're saying that the way you stay true to Ori is by being kind, honorable, and when you look in the mirror, you're happy with who you see. You happy
Absolutely.
who's looking back at you.
Right.
I love it. Now, um, hmm, I have another question. What is one of your superpowers? I know you have many, but what comes to mind if you were to pick one that stands out as Ori's superpower? What would that be?
Well, over on my table, I have a little statue of the thinker by Rhoda.
Hmm.
I think about everything. I'm a quick thinker. I think and I strategize. You know, if a problem, I'm confronted with a problem, I got to figure it out. And I'm very good at that there. I say that's one of my best assets.
Mm.
And I'm extremely well of sitting down and negotiating what's right and what's wrong. And, you know, when you sit, you know, one person did something to the other. And if I got to sit them down, I got to make them both walk away from that table happy. I got to make them both walk away from that table that they were the winners.
Mm.
Right. Okay. And, you know, that's what I try to do. You know,
Now,
when I sold insurance, I
yes.
sold you an insurance policy. I would ask you for at least 5 names of friends or relatives that I could talk to. Okay. Because you bought from me, you're going to give me 5 names. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to call those people and make appointments with. So you got to keep things, you got to be kind. You know, and I tell everybody, if you know, I do it when I go into the grocery store or the drugstore, I go to the farmer's market. You'd be surprised, folks. You know, when I take my walk, I walk a couple miles every day. When I take that walk, I'll walk past people on the street. I don't know them. They don't know me. And I say, good morning. Have a wonderful day. And some of them, they look up and shock because nobody ever does that. I just made that person's day. And they go, oh, good morning. Thank you. You
Oh,
know, a little thing like that there. It's very simple and it don't cost you a nickel.
it doesn't.
I walk in, these girls and guys that work in the grocery store, they got the name tag. You walk in, good morning, Paul. How are you? How's the family? How's the family doing, Anna? Everybody good? Nobody ever talks to them.
Mm.
So, they're doing a job. They're ringing you up and putting your stuff in the bag every day.
Yep.
All right. But just, some people just treat them like bums. I had to yell at somebody else who was yelling at a girl in line at the grocery store.
Mm.
You know what? And then 3, 4 weeks ago, I'm in a grocery store at Ralph's over here, and I said good morning to the gentleman waiting to cash out after me. He started talking, and I says, "Hey," I said, "I detected an English accent." He says, "Yeah," he says, "I'm from London." He says, "My name Rabbi Peeny." I said, "My pleasure," I said. And I was cashing, I was paying my bill, and he was next. And I said, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir." He says, "How do I find out about you? Who are you?"
Oh.
And I said, "My name is Ori Spado. Google my name." My son handles my accidental gangster Gmail. On Sunday, he says, "You got an email from a rabbi." I said, "Oh, yeah, Peony." I said, "Send it to me. Send it to me." I emailed him back. We exchanged phone numbers. On Monday, I went to he's got a synagogue over here on Alden Drive. And I gave him a book. We chatted for an hour, and they had a 10-year celebration for him being 10 years here. And he invited me as his guest. It was on a Friday evening. I went there. It was a lovely, lovely affair. I
Oh.
was not feeling that well, but I still went. I didn't have the strength that I normally would have, but the people were the nicest people. It was a great event. And, with what's happening in Israel, it's a terrible thing that's happening there. And his son happens to be in the army over there in Israel, and he's in that war, his son, which, a lot of people, my lawyer, his son is in college in Israel, you know. So, there's a lot of people right here in Beverly Hills with got a lot of relatives, family that are there. And, you know,
I yeah, that's unfortunate. So much evil going on in the world. And I love that you are contributing, doing your part by brightening someone's day with a simple greeting and a smile. That goes a long way. And look, you are now, not by chance, by design, at another environment, celebrating this person's 10th anniversary in this country, and you showing up even if you didn't feel well, goes to show that it's not how we feel and what we feel like doing. It's about the other person, because we have that responsibility to make someone else feel special, or many people feel special. And the way we make them feel special is by getting up, dressing up, showing up, even if it's for a split
that's
second.
it. Showing up.
Showing up, it's key. And I love that so much. Now, Ori, I love a lot of things about you in the short amount of time that we met each other. And one of the things that stands out for me over and over again is your love for sharing with the youth the message you feel so strongly about the young generations. I know you speak on stages, and for anyone who's listening to us right now, if you'd like for Ori to speak on your stages, on your communities, wherever there are, either in person or virtual, please connect with Ori. He has the website, theaccidentalgangster.com. And we'll leave that here for a few more minutes for anyone to write it down. But why is it important for Ori to speak to the youth?
Well, like I said in my book, if I could keep one youth from going into the life of a gang or the life as I knew it, then the book was well worth it. And I've helped not one, but I've helped several stay out of a life of crime, learn to become entrepreneurs, make their making them happy every day in their life. I teach them to find something they love doing that they want to do, whether it's art, it could be a hobby. You don't know what it's going to be, but something they love. Because firmly believe if you love what you're doing, you're going to become successful at it. Okay. You know, everybody wants to equate everything with money. And yes, money is definitely something that we all need. Okay. But, money and being happy, if I had my choice, I'd take happy over money. Okay. But you could have both if you do it right and make other people happy and you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I taught those to my children. I taught all three of my children. What the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. You know, I
Mm.
my children repeat that all back to me nowadays, all three of them. So, and I was a divorced father, so I'm proud of some of the things that I was able to accomplish in my life. And yesterday while I was at the studio, the head of the studio introduced me to a young gal. Her name is Ren, W-R-E-N. First person I ever met with that name. I've heard of that name before, but she's the first one. She's a comedian and an actress, lovely young lady. And he told me, he said, you should interview her. So her and I sat down for a few moments. And, so she was reading my website and so forth. And she says, why is it that you gangsters have such big hearts? She recognized that,
Oh God.
you
I,
know, and that's such a true statement. People think of gangsters as bad people, but they don't realize the good things that we do. I remember making scores and then going down and taking care of the mother who's got three children, no husband, all right, can't pay her rent, can't buy groceries, all right, and I make a score, I make 50, 100 grand, all right, give her 5 grand, I don't want it back. It's for her, pay her bills. Okay, we do that kind of stuff. All of us did. We took care of the people in the neighborhood.
I,
That's what we do.
I love it. Now, how often do you travel, Ori? Like what, and is that something you love to do? Like what does Ori like to do if it was up to Ori?
Look, years ago, I was on airplanes so much that everybody called me Howard Hughes. All right, but that was back in the good days when you drove to the airport, parked your car, got out, bought your ticket, got on a plane, and you had room. You were able to smoke. People were kind. The people dressed up. Okay, and nowadays I hate flying. I hate going to the airport. It's a pain in the butt. Too time consuming. It takes longer and longer every day. You got no room on the airplanes. Uh, so I really do not enjoy traveling.
Okay.
If you want to get to Europe, Chris calls me at least twice a week. He's still in Albania, and he puts me on the phone. He does a FaceTime, puts me on a phone with a lot of other people that he's out there with. I'm getting to know people there. You got to come here. You got to live here. You near the ocean, and uh,
You're not convinced. You're like, fly me on a private jet and perhaps I'll consider it.
yeah,
I
you know,
love it. Chris is a friend of Ori who happens to be Albanian, and he lives in New York, but he's now in Albania. And another connection, I was already connected to him on LinkedIn, so it's just how like fascinating it is that the world keeps getting smaller the more you speak about it. But Ori, I'm curious, who how did you and George Gallo got to pair up and create this movie? Like, who found who?
well, here's how this happened. I have another dear friend named Armand Mastriani, who is also a director, and he's done a lot of movies back in the years. And he read my book. He knows me, and he says, "I got to introduce you to George Gallo." And this was during the pandemic. He introduced me. I sent George Gallo and Nick Vallanoga. I sent them both a book, and he read it. He loved it. He wanted to do it. He wanted to write it. But George is one of the few guys during the pandemic. He was filming a couple movies in Mississippi with Morgan Freeman.
Mm.
And he was doing back-to-back movies and never got to the writing of it. And then on Clubhouse, I met somebody, or he met me, another writer, and he came over here, spoke with me and my son, and we decided we'd give him a chance. We'd let him talk to George. George says, "Let's give the kid a shot." This way, he would write the script, and then George would go over it. And he wrote it was not a bad script. And then I introduced him to other people, and his ego become inflated. And he think, here's a kid who never had any of his scripts made. But this is the typical thing in Hollywood. Never a movie made. Nobody ever bought it. Nobody ever reads them. People don't understand how Hollywood works. You could write probably the best script in the world. Nobody knows you. You mail it to production companies and studios. Nobody's going to read it. Nobody. Yeah, you can tell your friends, yeah, I sent it to Warner Brothers. Yeah. No one's going to read it.
Mm.
But if you've got a name and you sold something, now they want to read it. So I know that when George Gallo's goes out, it's going to be read. So anyway, we had a big problem on a TV show that we're working on with the writer. When George went through it, he had to make a lot of changes, and the writer didn't. Oh, he did one. George had an actor ready to play the part. I mean, it was a hell of a deal.
Mm.
And you don't get them often where the actor wants to play this part. And it was about a DEA agent. True story. And so, anyways, we had a big blow up, and he, we put him on the site, and so now George is writing the script. So that's why it was a little delay. And
Noted.
but
It
it's
happens for a reason, and
a reason. It's a better reason.
yeah.
And but Armand is a great guy, and of course, he'll be attached to the movie for the introduction to George. And George and I just, besides being him being the writer, he and I become best friends. And George is not your typical Hollywood person looking for the limelight all the time. he and his wife are very happy. They get along great, and they're like kind of couple that could stay up there in their home and never leave. And
Ooh, I love it. When Ori and I met on Facebook the first time, he was speaking about the book and the movie, and I unmiked because I just couldn't help myself. I unmiked and I said, Ori, he had no idea who I was. That's my first interaction with Ori on Clubhouse. I will never forget it. I said, hey Ori, this is Migena. Just heard you sharing about the movie. Just want you to know that I am more than okay to be your plus one at the red carpet when you win the Oscars for the movie when that happens. And then this other lady on mics and she says, honey, get in line. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, there is no line. It's just me. And I don't know how much of that you know, Ori, but ever since I've been like on Ori's case, I'm like, when is this movie happening? Because I need to go pick the outfit. I mean, for God's sake. And then I'm like, wait a second, there's agents in the movie, in the book. I said, I want to be one of the agents because seriously, I'm Albanian. I speak Italian. You are Albanian. You just don't know it. Robert De Niro is half Albanian. George Gala is probably Albanian. We'll tell him too when we see him. So I made this whole movie about Ori. He's like, honey, that sounds good. Really, I could be Albanian. You are right. So, but that I just wanted to share that part of how Ori and I truly connected from the first instance because I already envisioned, and this is 3 years ago for anyone who's listening right now. This is 3 years ago, and fast forward, we get to have Ori on the Askmigena show and George Gallo. Oh my goodness, producing the movie, and it's going to be in Italy, if I'm not mistaken, right? Will you have some scenes in Calabria or
no, I don't think so. I don't know. I
who
don't
knows?
know what George's going to do.
Who
We
knows?
got that's where it's going to be filmed. A report just came out about Hollywood. Uh, we'd like to be able to film in Hollywood, but the tax benefits in California, the studios are not giving it out like they should. So tax benefits in Georgia, Louisiana, New Mexico, all right, they give you good tax benefits, and you're talking multi-millions of dollars. So
Mm.
I mean, George did a film in New Mexico, Comeback Trail, with Morgan Freeman. It was a $25 million budget. And they had Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, and Tommy Lee.
Oh wow.
All right, they got 15 million for overseas distribution. They got 7 million for filming in New Mexico. So before they even made the movie, they got $22 million back.
Wow. 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 Um
These are the things in the financing of a film. There are all these things you got to take into consideration. So this is why, this is the seventh straight quarter. Uh, Filming is down in Los Angeles. The report just came out.
interesting.
Right.
Michelle,
Who knows where we're going to film? I leave that, and I'm the protagonist here. I'm the guy that they're writing about. I leave everything else up to the experts.
I love it.
And
That's the way it should be.
yeah. And
Michelle McLean is in the house. She says, Ori, the most interesting man alive.
who's that?
Michelle McLean.
Michelle from Texas.
Yeah, she's sending hearts
My,
and
my girlfriend, another girlfriend. She never calls me.
yes, good to see you, Michelle. And oh my goodness, you and I can talk forever. We can talk for hours. I don't know how much more time you have to gift us. But
This is live on where?
yes, this is live on YouTube. This is live on LinkedIn. I believe we're live on Facebook. That's still to be decided because I have no idea why Facebook is not cooperating with me. But We definitely are live on LinkedIn and YouTube as we speak. And I shared the link with a lot of our friends on your WhatsApp group, Stories with Ori also. And the another curiosity of mine is, was there a time in your life where you remember that one day you were going to have your story made into a movie? Like, did it ever occur to you that this could be a possibility?
Look at it. Never occurred to me that there'd be a possibility I'd be writing a book.
Oh God.
I had a different take on Hollywood than most people. I was always in the background of Hollywood. I was always a guy that they knew was there but never spoke. Uh, I know Hollywood, how it works, how it operates. I know it very well. And I always think if I were when I got out of the army, if I would have stayed here, I would have been an actor. And maybe that's the only thing that I could have changed in my life. If I would have stayed here in 1966, I could have become an actor. Because
Hmm.
be a salesman, like I was, a good salesman,
Mm-hmm.
be a gangster, you gotta be an actor too. So,
And those are the dream jobs, right?
right.
I mean, I've I've always loved TV. Always imagined having my own TV show, being on the big screen, being an actress, like literally, like just envisioning as a little girl. And then you come to America, then of course, as an immigrant, you become a hostess, and there goes your dream or your many dreams. And just like yourself, I also didn't think that I would publish a book, and now I'm book number 5 within a year. I didn't think that I would ever end up on TV, because being in this country 20 years, especially in New York City, exposed to the Hollywood. I served tables at a high-end restaurant. I served Al Pacino, Leonardo DiCaprio, Bradley Cooper, Hugh Jackman, you name it, Quentin Tarantino. Like, the entire Hollywood was there. And being a waitress, a captain, serving Bill Clinton and all of those other guys during UN week. And then I said, you know what? I'm done. This is never happening for me. I'm never going to be an actress or have a TV show or have any of this. And I show up at this event, a networking event for real estate investing, like the capital raising, the family offices, and the exact same conversation I'm having with you right now, Ori, where, hey, who are you? Well, my name is Migena. I always wanted to be on TV, but now I am raising capital for a real estate deal. And they're like, I said, you know what? I'm going to leave the country. If I don't get discovered this year, I'm leaving the country. I've had it. I can't believe no one ever discovered me. And they're like, you manifested this, didn't you? I said, what? What is that word? Like, that's just such a Google strange word. I said, tell me more. What do you mean? And they said, well, we have a TV show. I was like, oh, nice. And we're looking for someone to interview the guests and the celebrities in LA on the red carpet. I'm like, great. Who do I know? Oh my goodness, I have to think. Who do I know in New York that could be great for these people? Like, I'm thinking, give. And they're like, no, we mean you. I'm like, no. I'm Albanian. I'm skeptical. What's the catch? No, this is not how this happens. And they're like, this is exactly how this happens. I'm like, I don't know about that. But sure enough, I end up in LA. I end up on the red carpet. I end up interviewing billionaires, millionaires, business owners. And I am actually on TV. I am an associate producer for an investment TV show. And the reason why I say this is because, exactly to your point earlier, Ori, we film our shows in Utah, because you get 25% tax break or benefit. I don't even know how to say it. So I don't blame George and anyone else in Hollywood for shifting outside of Hollywood to make it to be intentional and respectful to the money. And that's why when you said you never even thought about having a book, let alone a movie, it's all those things that you have done over the years that have led you to be here. And when I think of your story, Ori, and the movie, I know I get very excited because truly and honestly and deeply, I love TV. I've always loved TV. But beyond that, the bigger picture, the bigger reason, learn from Ori's mistakes, learn from Ori's wins, learn from what not to do, and also the the loyalty aspect of it, and the like all those other lessons that are in this book and are going to be in the movie. I feel like it's going to be a great gift for generations to come, because not everyone out there, Ori, it's transparent and shares how you turned from a salesman, an insurance salesman, to a Hollywood fixer, aka an original gangster. And you're so open about it, and you are so approachable, welcoming, and truly, truly very real. And this is why I love and appreciate you and our friendship, because you're not just that person who is like, pause there, you can't talk to me because I've been here and I've been that. You're like, no, no, no. This is who I am today, and I'm doing all of these things because I truly want to help. Like, that's what I get, that you genuinely want to help through your experiences, future generations. And of course, why not share your story? You're proud of it. Maybe there are aspects of it that you're not proud of, but as human beings, we all.
Well, the important thing is I take full responsibility for everything that I've done in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't blame nobody else. I don't blame the informers to rat it on me to put me in prison. Okay.
Mm, mm.
I don't, it was all meant to be. It was my destiny. I lived it. It's my life. All right. And, I'm happy that I'm still here. I'll be 79 in December. And then I'm here to be able to help people. Give, I got the wisdom, how I overcome obstacles. You could learn a lot from me if you want to listen. Okay. You could learn how to become an entrepreneur. You could learn how to overcome fears. You should not fear anything. There's nothing to fear. Uh, you could learn a lot from an elderly man as myself who's been around. I still got a lot of energy. I get out every day. I walk a couple miles. So I'm here to give back, try to make this world a better place. And, I never thought I was going to live to the age of 63.
Oh my God.
Okay. What happened at 63? I got arrested. I got indicted. I got put on Con Air, chained and shackled, and brought to Brooklyn, New York. Just like the FBI agent said in 1997, he said it. In 2008, that he made it a reality. I did my time in prison. I did my time. And now here I am, folks. So, take advantage if you want to learn, if you seriously want to become better. Okay? You want to try to bullshit me? You're not going to be able to bullshit me. Okay?
Mm.
Because I'll recognize it right away.
Oh wow, that was beautiful. Even Michelle is saying appreciate the example that you are setting, Ori,
Thank you, Michelle.
and
And
you're
I
a good man.
uh, Roberto put up that New Mexico is good for tax. I saw that there. Yeah. Thank you, Roberto.
Yes, yes. Roberto is a dear friend of mine, one of my supporters, and a friend in real life as well. Stephanie sends hearts. We've got some love. This is Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, what, like 11 a.m. Pacific. Not the most ideal time to have an interview where most people can come and see us. But the beauty is that it stays on YouTube forever, unless we decide to take it down, and then people can share it, reshare it, listen to your story, support you. As we said, if you go to hold on, because I forgot the hold on. There we are.
This would be great if you would. On Facebook, if you would share it to the Accidental Gangster group.
Yes,
Spado's Facebook.
I am. I don't know if I'm on that book. I mean, on that group or not, Ori. I should be in that group. I really should. Yes, I'll look up the group and join if I haven't. I don't know
Yeah.
why it doesn't. I think I am. I don't even know. But Roberto says, "Thank you for your time. We are going to share the links on all social medias for people to share, reshare, and if you guys want to buy the book that is 100% with a message from Ori himself. If you want an autographed copy, you go to accidentalgangster.com. But then if you just want to support Ori, the books are on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble, and you are going to enjoy the book. And I recommend you buy the book, read the book, because when the movie comes out, then you get to say, wait a second, I've read that book and now I get to see the movie. Like nothing better than that. Like I personally love those books that turn into movies, and even better, we have access to Ori because he's a friend, and he is a friend not just to me, but he's a friend to so many. It's just who he is, and I'm grateful for you, Ori, so much. And would you like to leave all of us with one message? If you were to give one message to anyone listening in the world, what would that be?
Go out, make some other people happy today, and trust me, it will come back to you tenfold. Do that every day
Oh,
with a smile. Stay healthy. God bless you all. Thank you so much for taking the time. I enjoyed myself this morning.
thank you.
Okay,
What an
thank you.
honor, and what a beautiful message. And you see how I get happy because I think that's what I do. I just go out there and I smile, and then they have no choice but to smile. And they're like, "Who's this crazy one? Why are you smiling so much?" I'm like, "Why not? Why not? We're here. We're connected. We're talking. How can I help you? How can I be of service to you?" So I love that message so much because I do my best every day to apply your message in the world, and I continue to remind myself that people need good people in their lives, and why not be that person for them or for many. I know Ori and I will be on stages together. We'll be on the red carpet together. And what is this? We have lovely Rita, and she says, "I live." There you go. Roberto says, "Thank you for your time." And again, Michelle says, "Appreciate the messages." And I am so grateful for the opportunity, and I look forward to having you back on the show for updates on the movie and how we can support you. And do you want to give us any links that we should share with the world, how they can support you, the movie?
Well, I would like everybody, of course, I would love you all to go and buy a book right now, of course. But, I have my YouTube channel, all right, The Accidental Gangster. I would appreciate it if you would go there and subscribe. I'm trying to build that up. Uh, my website. Folks, do the right thing. Do what you want to do. Okay. There's a lot of things I wish the world would do. All right. I'm only one person. I need you all together to help make this world a better place. And on that note, folks, I gotta leave. My son's gonna be here to pick me up. Okay.
I love it. Yes, The Accidental Gags are on YouTube. Thank you, Ori, again so much for your time. Enjoy it.
We'll
And
talk later, honey.
later. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.